Okay, we left off in the last video saying that religion is how Girard thinks human beings control their violence. Because human beings are mimetic, they're hyper-mimetic, much more so than any other animal. And because they're hyper-mimetic, they're hyper-violent. Remember, we learn our desires from other people. We have a model for our desires, but that model becomes an obstacle, and vice versa. And human communities are fated to violence because of our hyper-mimetic nature, because of our hyper-imitative nature. Human beings are doomed, so to speak, to and they will always eventuate in violence. And so the question Girard has is, how come human communities are still around? Why haven't they killed each other off? How have human beings survived this? Because they're so hypermimetic and therefore hyperviolent. Why do they still exist? Well, evolutionarily, they've invented a mechanism to control that violence, to let off the steam, let off the tension and the mimetic contagion, Girard calls it. And that mechanism is religion. Religion is a mechanism to control human violence. How does it work? That's the question. Well, very simply, via collective victimization. That is, human beings collectively victimize in order to control their violence. They just randomly pick out a person. Well, they don't randomly do it. There's usually reasons for Girard, but we'll talk about that. They usually pick out the weakest person in the group, blame that person for all the societal evils, and collectively victimize and kill them. And that collective murder or collective lynching forms a kind of social cohesion in the group. So this is what he's saying, that religion is grounded in mob violence, in collective violence of innocent people who just so happen to be weak and expelled and are targeted and expelled by the community. So the human beings have a mob mentality that we go to, and that's the religious mentality, and it's designed to control our violence. We put all of our violence and all of our tension and all of our frustration on one person, deem them as evil, right? They're not really evil, they're innocent. We collectively victimize and persecute them, and then we experience a kind of collective catharsis or purging and social cohesion, therefore. So religion, the religious impulse in a human being, in human beings, is designed to control violence by collective victimization. Okay, that's the key idea. Religious violence, human violence is contained by religion, by what Girard calls the scapegoat mechanism. We scapegoat certain individuals and persecute them, victimize them, and kill them. And this forms social cohesion and allows for societies to stay together. Okay?